Good morning, class. Our lesson for today is all about the classification of taxpayers in the Philippines based on the National Internal Revenue Code or NIRC and BIR guidelines. So when we say BIR, this is the Bureau of Internal Revenue, the government agency where in we pay our taxes, or they are the one who collected our taxes. So, since today, na-cancel yung pasok natin, so from Tuesday to Friday, mag-record lang tayo ng video and then magsasubmit ako sa inyo magbibigay ako ng module for you to read and study regarding with our topic. Kasi na natin to, kumbaga last week na pasada na lang ng mga lessons. Then the next week, quizzes, long quiz, and of course, the next week, ayun, exam na. Pero alam ko na move yung exam natin. Magiging, na-reset ata ng hindi ko alam kung November 3 na siya or November 7. Pero yun, ang sure ako ay hindi matutuloy yung October 27. Okay, so let us continue our lesson for today. Hala, ayaw mag-move. Okay. So, according to legal status, we have here the classification, description, and examples. Ayan. Individual taxpayer. Sino ba yung mga individual taxpayer? Okay, from the word itself, individual, it is a single person who earns income. Okay, paano ba yung isang individual nag-earn ng income? Una, from your salaries. Okay, kung ikaw ay isang employed, no, meron kang boss, tatrabaho ka sa isang company, ayun, meron kang sweldo. Okay? So, yun yung iyong income. Okay? Next is self-employed. O, sino tong mga self-employed na to? Ito yung mga nag-earn ng income na walang mga bosses or walang nag-handle sa kanilang company. Walang nagpapasahod. Sino yon? Sila yung may mga sari-sari store, nagbebenta sa wet market, sa palengke. Sila yung mga Grab rider, Joyride rider, Angkas, ayun, Lalamove. Okay, sila yon. Like for example, naging freelance bookkeeper kayo, meron kayong registered business. So, ang tawag sa inyo ay self-employed. Kumbaga, kumikita kayo in your own. Okay? The next is professional. So, when we say professional, you are practicing your profession. Kagaya ng mga may clinic. So, pinapractice nila yung kanilang pagiging doctor. So, ang tawag naman sa kanila ay they are earning through practicing their profession. Yung mga engineers, diba? Kumukuha sila ng project like construction of building. Ayan. Nag-earn sila ng income because of their profession. Mga accountant, ayun, hire sila ng mga companies in order to check their books. So, yon. Yung binabayad ng companies na yun sa kanila, yun yung kanilang earning dahil pinractice nila yung kanilang pagiging accountant. Okay. So, kami, profession din naman namin yung pagiging isang teacher. Pero bakit hindi kami professional earner? Dahil employed kami sa DepEd. Okay. In behalf of our performance, through our performance, meron kaming mga benefits na binabayaran nila, no, in behalf of ours. Like GSIS, SSS, GSIS, PhilHealth, and Pag-ibig. Okay. Kapag professional yung kinuha lang sa amin ni DepEd, for example, magtuturo lang kami, no? Tapos babayaran nila yung service namin as a teacher, as a professional teacher. Hindi nila babayaran yung GIS, hindi nila babayaran yung PhilHealth, hindi nila babayaran yung Pag-ibig. Ibig sabihin, yung earnings or yung income na nakukuha namin from DepEd ay because of our profession. Okay. So, Mahirap, no? Mahirap i-distinguish. Pero ito lang yung tatandaan ninyo. Once na ang isang tao nag-earn ng income and at the same time, binibigyan siya ng mga government benefits, that is employment or that is salaries. Ano? That is compensation. Pero kapag ang binabayaran lang sa'yo purely because of your services, that is profession. Okay? So, next, corporate taxpayer. A business entity registered under Philippine laws or foreign laws. So, ano yung mga examples? Corporations, partnerships, and joint ventures. So, ibig sabihin sa corporate taxpayer, walang individual or person, specific person na nagbabayad ng taxes or nag-earn ng income for a particular company. Kumbaga, si company mismo yung nag-earn. For example, ABC Company, ang may-ari si ABC. Okay? Hindi doon naka-specify na earning lang yan ni A. Earning lang ni B or income lang ni C or ni D. Kundi, income siya ng buong company. Kaya nga corporate. Diba? Income siya ng company itself. Hindi ng isang individual. Next is state and trust. So, ano naman yung state and trust? State and trust, entities representing property or assets held for beneficiaries. For example, state of a deceased person or trust fund. Okay, so, sino dito yung may mga trust funds? So, yun yung ibig sabihin ng state. Diba sinabi ko nga kahapon, when we say state tax, ito yung tax ng mga taong yumao na. Bakit itatax pa, ipatay na? Hindi po yung patay yung tinatax. Tinatax po is yung ari-arian ng namatay. Okay. So, dito naman, it is the property of a deceased person. Okay, gets? So, pag may question kayo, type nyo lang sa comment below. Next is, according to residency and citizenship for individuals. Okay, classification, description, and tax coverage. So, tandaan ninyo yan na para in the near future, magkaroon man kayo ng earnings dito sa Pilipinas or outside the Philippines, you know how to manage your taxes. Okay, you know how to describe your income. Okay, next. For example, you are a resident citizen. So, anong ibig sabihin ng resident citizen? Ikaw ay Pilipino na nakatira sa Pilipinas. Okay, Filipino residing in the Philippines. So, papaano ka magbabayad ng iyong tax? Okay, sabi sa NIRC, tax on income within and outside the Philippines. So, ibig sabihin, kung isa kang Pilipino at nakatira ka sa Pilipinas, pumunta ka ng Las Vegas at nakipag-kickboxing ka doon at nanalo ka ng 2 million at inuwi mo sa Pilipinas, kailangan mong i-tax. So, that is the case of Manny Pacquiao before. Kaya na-issue siya na hindi siya nagbabayad ng tax. Kasi ang understanding ni Manny Pacquiao, he is already paid with his taxes sa Vegas. 'Di ba? During his boxing winnings. So, ang thinking niya, bayad na ako ng tax ko sa Vegas. Bakit pag uwi ko dito sa Pilipinas, sisingilin niyo pa rin ako? Okay? So, wala siyang magagawa because that is the policy. You are a Filipino and you are a resident of the Philippines. So, lahat ng income mo within and outside or worldwide income, taxable siya sa Pilipinas. So, you have to pay. Okay? Next is non-resident citizen. So, ano ibig sabihin ng non-resident? Pilipino ka, pero nakatira ka sa ibang bansa. Okay. So, if you are a Filipino, tapos nakatira ka, for example, sa Australia, pero may business ka dito sa Pilipinas, papaano yung taxes nun? For example, isa akong Pilipino. Okay? Tapos, sa Australia ako nakatira. Nagtuturo ako doon. Okay? Meron akong sahod sa Australia. Tapos, meron akong business dito at the same time sa Pilipinas. So, paano yung tax ko doon? Itatax pa ba ako ng sahod ko sa Australia? Hindi na. Okay? Hindi na. Kasi ikaw ay non-resident citizen. Ang itatax lang sa'yo is the income generated from your business here in the Philippines. Yung sahod ko, hindi na ako itatax dito. Dahil hindi naman ako dito nag-reside. Okay? Next is resident alien. So, when we say resident alien, foreigner residing in the Philippines. Okay? Ibig sabihin, hindi mga Pilipino, pero dito nakatira sa Pilipinas. Katulad ng mga Bombay, mga Chinese. So, ano yung coverage ng kanilang taxes? So, itatax lang yung mga foreigner doon sa income na na-earn nila sa Pilipinas. Kung may iba pa silang earnings from other countries, so wala na yon. Hindi na papakialaman ng Pilipinas yon. Okay? Kung ano lang yung kinita nila dito, yun lang. Okay, next is non-resident alien engaged in trade or business. For example, foreigner doing business in the Philippines. Hindi siya dito nakatira, pero nandito yung business niya. Okay? So, itatax lang siya doon sa income na na-generate niya from the Philippines. Okay? So, kapag kayo ay nag-college na, mas madami pa, mas deeper, mas wider pa yung mga issues or topics with regards to taxation. Pero madali lang naman siyang tandaan. Huwag kayong mag-alala. Okay, next is non-resident alien, not engaged in trade or business. So, foreigner not doing business in the Philippines, so ano ang kanilang tax? Foreigner siya. Nandito siya sa Pilipinas. Hindi rin siya gumagawa ng business. Okay? Sorry. Foreigner siya, hindi siya dito nakatira sa Pilipinas, hindi rin siya nagbe-business dito sa Pilipinas, but he is earning an income. For example, paano ba? Ano bang company meron tayo dito sa Pilipinas? For example, pag-aari natin ang Facebook. Dahil yung isang foreigner na kunwari taga Vietnam, magaling siya mag-vlog. So, binabayaran ng Facebook siya. So, paano? Withholding tax lang yung kanyang babayaran. So, bago natin bayaran, bago ni Facebook bayaran ng commission niya or earnings, babawasan na siya ng taxes. Kagaya ng sa akin, lahat ng earnings ko sa YouTube, hindi ko na nakukuha yung buong $100. Dumarating sa akin nasa $95 na lang kasi binawasan na nila ng taxes. Ang tawag doon ay final withholding tax. Okay, kasi si YouTube ay taga-US. Okay, so hindi dito based sa Philippines. So, ganon. Next is, we have 4 corporations. Yung mga corporations, merong iba't ibang uri ng corporations. Hindi yan pare-parehas. Okay, may corporation na domestic. So, when we say domestic corporation, incorporated under Philippine laws. Lahat ng members, stockholders, or incorporators are 100% Filipinos. So, tax on income within and outside the Philippines. Ayan. Lahat ng income na ma-generate ng company na yan, sa Pilipinas man o sa labas, ay itatax. Okay? That is domestic corporation. Domestic na naka-registered sa Pilipinas. Next is foreign corporation. Ano ibig sabihin ng foreign corporation? Hindi lang naka-registered sa Pilipinas. Okay, for example, Procter & Gamble. Ang Procter & Gamble, hindi lang yan sa Pilipinas. Meron pa yan sa ibang bansa. Okay, kumbaga nag-branch out lang sila dito sa Philippines. Okay. So, what else? Toyota. Si Toyota hindi lang yan sa Pilipinas. Kumbaga nag-branch out lang sila sa Philippines. Hyundai, yon, Mitsubishi, no, yung mga car companies. Meron silang, ano ba yung Korean car? Kia ba yun? No, hindi ako sure. Japan, Toyota. So, mga ganun. Foreign corporation sila. So, kapag foreign corporation, itatax lang sila sa kung ano lang yung earning nila sa Pilipinas. Parang tao din yan, dun sa individual person. Ano eh? Next is resident foreign corporation. So, has a branch or office in the Philippines. Income earned within the Philippines only. Non-resident foreign corporation, no branch or office in the Philippines, but they are earning from the Philippines. So, they have to pay taxes through withholding. Okay. So, next is, according to type of income earners. This is for individual, guys. So, we have here, again, the classification, description, and examples. For example, number 1, compensation income earner receives only, or income solely from employment. Okay, kung yun yung compensation. Pero, take note, pwede naman kasi, nababayaran ka bilang isang teacher, babayaran ka bilang isang office worker. Okay? Hindi kasi lahat ng payment na nare-receive mo is pwede nang tawaging compensation. If you are not receiving benefits, pwede kang isang self-employed or you are practicing your profession. So, take note, saan nyo ba makikita yon? So, sa contract. Ano ba yung contract mo? Okay? Ako ba ay employee? Ako ba ay kanilang subcontractor? Or sila ba ay nag-outsource lang ng aking services? Okay, be careful with your contract, ha. If you are receiving benefits, hindi ka pwedeng sabihin na ikaw ay subcon, hindi ka pwedeng sabihin na ikaw ay retainer's fee or professional fee ang iyong matatanggap na payment. Okay. Next is self-employed or business income earner, engaged in trade, business, or profession. So, example nito ay mga online sellers, doctors, lawyers, engineers, and so on. So, mixed income earner. Okay, ano naman tong mixed income? Okay, when I say mixed income, kaya nga mix halo-halo. So, meaning to say, kagaya ko, isa akong teacher, meron akong compensation from DepEd at the same time, kapag Saturdays and Sundays, meron akong part-time. Okay? Nagtumatanggap ako ng retainer's fee or professional fee because of my bookkeeping skills. Okay? So, lahat ng binabayad nila sa akin, ang tawag doon ay PF or RF. So, PF or RF plus my compensation, that is my mixed income. Okay? So, employee with a side business or part-time. Ayan. Next is, we are done. So, that's all for today. Your activity is, you have to write your today's takeaways. Okay? That is to be submitted on Monday, October 19. Bago mag 5 p.m. So, hindi din ako sure kung sa Monday may pasok na. So, gawin niyo yung activity ninyo today para hindi kayo matambakan. Kasi alam ko, hindi lang ako magbibigay ng inyong module. So, this PowerPoint presentation to be uploaded later. Goodbye, class! See you tomorrow!